Good afternoon, ma'am. We are the Group 2 presenters, and we are about to discuss the types of measure of position. So what is the measure of position? These are techniques that divide a set of data into equal groups, give us a way to see where a certain data point or value falls in a sample or distribution. The quartiles and deciles. Quartiles divide the distribution by 4. The deciles divide the distribution by 10. So here are the formula on how to get and how to solve the quartiles for ungroup data. Q sub k equals k to the quantity of n plus 1 over 4 and the total 10th item or the quartile number. So where k equals k or the number of quartiles and n is for the total number of items. So this is the first example. Solve the first quartile. So the given first quartile here is the 1. So use the formula of quartiles. Q sub k equals k to the quantity of n plus 1 over 4. So Q sub 1 equals 1. So the given quartile, and to the quantity of 6. So 6 is the number of items plus 1 over 4. So 1, so 6 plus 1 equals 7. Then 1 plus 1 times 7 equals 7, and over 4 is the remaining number. So 7 over 4 divide it, and the equal is 1.75. So this is the number of quartile. So first plus 0.75 to the quantity of second minus first. So this is also the way on how to get the final answer of the quartile of ungrouped data. So equals 1 plus 0.75 to the quantity of 3 minus 1. So equals 1 plus 0.75 to the quantity of 2. Then plus and multiply it. So 1 plus 1.5. So 0.75 is the answer is 1.5 man. So imo divide siya. Then the answer of 1 plus 1.5 equals 2.5. So that's it for the ungrouped data. Thank you.
Move to Deciles for ungrouped data. D sub k equals k quantity n plus 1 to the total of 10. Let's solve the third decile. D sub k equals k quantity n plus 1 to the total of 10. The given numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12. So D3 equals 3 quantity 6 plus 1 equals 10. So 6 plus 1, 7 times 3, 21. 21 over 10 equals 2. Point first is the position equals second number plus 0.1 quantity third number minus second number. So let's going to find the answer. Equals 3 plus 0.1. The 3 is the second number and the 5 is the third number minus second number. The second number is 3. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. Equals 3 plus 0.1 quantity 2 equals 3 plus 0.2 equals 3.2. So that's the answer.
So, hello everyone, and to our instructor, Ms. Apple Grace Arcelius. Good day, ma'am. So, Marlon and Angel Joy had already discussed about the quartile and decile for and group data. So, I and Amy will discuss or tackle about the quartile and deciles for group data. So, this is our formula for quartile for group data. So Q sub k is equal to LB plus the quantity Kn over 4 minus CF sub B all over F sub Q sub k and multiply by our I. So this is our formula, in which the LB is the lower boundary of the Q sub k class. The N is the total frequency. The C sub F sub B is the cumulative frequency of the class before the Q sub k class. And our F sub Q sub 1 is the frequency of our Q sub k class. And our I is the size of the class interval. And the last one is our K, the nth quartile. So next, for example, we're given here the data. So we have scores, the frequency, the LB, and the cumulative frequency. So here, the scores and the frequency is already given. So we are the ones who will get or solve the LB, or the lower boundary, and the cumulative frequency. So I will show you and how we will get the LB and the CF. So in getting the LB, we'll focus on the scores. The lowers in our lower scores. So here we have 46, it's our lower score, 41, 36, 31, 26, and 21. So wait, I will use some pen, that one, in order for us to know. So in our LB, our lower score, we will subtract it with 0.5. So here we have 46. So 46, we subtract it with 0.5, so we will come up with 45.5. So here we have 45.5, point 5, and we'll just continue with the other. So 41, we have 40.5, 36, we have 35.5, 31, subtract it with 0.5, we come up with 30.5, 26, we have 25.5, and 21, we come up with 20.5. So that's our LB. So in our CF, or in our cumulative frequency, so we will focus in our frequency. So how we will get the cumulative frequency? So here we'll start at the lower here. So let's just say that these numbers are invisible. It's just invisible. We have no data here. So let's focus here. We have 6, right? We have 6 here. So here we will just copy the 6. So we have 6, and then because it's cumulative, so we keep on adding. So we have here 6, then we add the 12, we come up with 18. Then 18 plus 9, we come up with 27. 27 plus 11, we come up with 38. 38 plus 8, 46, and 46 plus 4, we get 50. So our the first cumulative frequency is just the same with our frequency in our total frequency. So we have here 50. Let's just delete this. So that's how we get our lower boundary in our cumulative frequency. So next, so now let's try to solve. So in order for us to get the first quartile, because we are tasked to get the first quartile, or the Q sub 1. So we can solve it already because we have many groups. It's let's go back to the here. So in order for us to get the first quartile, we will get the Q sub class in order to choose if what row we will choose to we will choose in our solving. So going back here, I mean. So this is our formula in getting the quartile class. So this is the one. This is the formula. Wait. Yes, this is the formula. So we will now substitute. So q sub c is equal to 1. Our k here is 1 because we are going to solve the first quartile. So we have 1. And our 50 is, we get this from out, as what I've said a while ago, it's the total of our frequency. So we have 50 and over 4 because quartile. So that's why we use 4. So we will just compute it. 50 times 1 then divided by 4. That's why we get 12. This 12.5. So it's the position, not the answer yet. So we will focus on the 12.5th position. So going back in our table, so in order to know if where is the 12.5 here, we'll focus on the cumulative frequency, this one here. So we have, our total is 12.5. So here we have 6. So this means that in this data there are 6, I mean from 1 to 6. So 1 to 6 belong here. So if 1 to 6 belong here, that means that 7 to 18 is here. Here 7 to 18. And we get, on our total is 12 point something, I can't remember, 12.5. So that's why we will use this one. We will use this row. Sorry for that. So we will use this row for our solution. So our frequency is 12, our LB is 25.5, and our cumulative frequency is 18. So going back here, so I have put already the numbers or the data, so that will continue already. Then our LB, as what I've said a while ago, our LB is 25.5. Then here our class, I mean cumulative frequency, it's before the class. So here, going back here, our cumulative frequency is 18, but it was said that before the class. That means that before 18. That's why we got 6. Yes, when we say cumulative before the class, it's before the number of our chosen row or our chosen cumulative frequency. Yes, then our frequency here, or our frequency is 12. As we have 12 here, then our I is 5. Why 5? Because here in our scores, we'll just count their class interval. So 26, 27, 28, 25, 30. So there are 5. That's why we got 5 here. So now we're ready to substitute this in our formula. So here, our formula is, again, Q sub k is equal to lower boundary plus the quantity Kn over 4 minus Cf sub b all over F sub Q sub k and multiplied by our I. So let's substitute this. Q sub 1, because we're going to solve the first quartile. So Q sub 1 is equal to 25.5. So that's our LB, 25.5 plus So we already get the, or we already solved the Kn over 4 this in our class. Let me show you this in our class, I mean quartile class. So we already solved our Kn over 4. So that's why we get 12.5. So we have 12.5 here. Then minus 6, it's our cumulative frequency before the class. Then over 12, because it's the frequency, it's our frequency. It's our frequency. Then multiply by 5 our class interval. So we'll just solved it using our, or if you have there your calculator, your scientific calculator, you just solve it and we will get this answer, 28.21. So this is our first quartile. This is our first quartile, not here. This is the first quartile. So it's just easy to do, because if we just have this, then you will get the specific data. So that would be all. Now let's have Amy to continue the reporting. Thank you.
Everyone, today we will gonna talk about the decile for group data. The definition of decile are those values of the distribution that divide the total frequency into 10 groups. So later on, we will know more about quartiles, but let us focus now on decile. In finding decile for group data, we use this formula. D sub k equals LB plus quantity of Kn over 10 minus Cf sub B all over F sub D sub k multiplied by I, where LB is the lower boundary of the class, N is the total frequency, Cf is the cumulative frequency before the class, and F is the frequency of the class, while I is the size of the class and the K is the ninth decile. And we have here the table. Since the table is provided, you will no longer calculate its interval. So in getting the cumulative frequency, all you need to do is add the frequency from the nearest class interval to the greatest class interval. We have here 6, the nearest class interval. And the 6 plus 12 equals 18. And 18 plus 9 equals 27, so on and so forth. So our lower boundary here is 35.5, and our cumulative frequency here before the class is 27, and our frequency here is 11. And our interval here is 5, because 6 minus 1 equals 5. So we have to solve the 7th decile, or the D7. D sub C, here is the formula. D sub C equals Kn over 10. So K equals 7 multiplied by 50. So this 50 is from the total of frequency over 10. So decile is we will divide it into 10 group. So the answer is 35. This is not the final answer. So we will now move on. D sub k equals LB plus quantity of Kn over 10 minus Cf sub B all over F sub Q sub K multiplied by I. So here D sub 7 equals 35.5 plus quantity of 35 minus 27 over 11 multiplied by 5, and the answer here is 39.14. You will just simply follow the process and solve it wisely.